Obviously, we've advanced a bit in the last 80 years past that, but we expect equal or better recoveries. This is, again, a little bit technical and a little complicated to look at. We've got our existing decline in. We've got over a half a mile of existing workings underground already. They're accessible, they're modern, they're compliant. Off of these workings, you see the different color blocks. These are our veins. They're colored only for identification. Characteristically, they're all the same, different grades, different things, but overall they're the same kind of veins. We just use the colors for identification. Scale about 1,000 feet here. So from there to there is a little over 2,000 feet. We've got the blue lines here, which represent our most recent design work, just completed in October, November this year. That's significant in the sense that we're through design. The preliminary economic assessment we're completing is written more like a pre-feasibility, but again, 43-101 definitions on the resource limit me from calling it a pre-feasibility. Preliminary mill design I'm just showing you just to show that it is complete. We've done it. I'm not going to spend much time on this slide. Most of us in this room probably wouldn't understand what this means. The upshot is that we're near the end of this thing as far as the planning and technical study. The 41 preliminary economic assessment. This is evaluating design development of the initial mining milling operation focused only on the upper portion of the Lincoln County deposit. We targeted just the really easy stuff to get at. Our resource is quite a bit bigger. We can talk about Keystone. We're not targeting that yet. Existing mine infrastructure. Again, we've already got the hole in the ground. I have a 12 by 15 decline going into this thing. We're retired modern. I was driven in 89, 90. We're on track for completion release in Q4. Again, we might see some spillage into Q1 next year. Major permitting completed. This is important. We were going to have over, I think, nearly 37 permits for the project once we're in operation. We're in the 30-plus range now. We're looking at building permits and grading permits, things like that. NPDES stormwater permits, those are procedural. The reclamation plan, we're permitted. We need to submit the final construction plans for the reclamation of the project. Wetland section 404 permitting, which is your Clean Water Act stuff. We're disturbing, we've identified just over an acre of wetlands. We're going to be disturbing less than 3/4 of that. Where we're at today, we're continuing pre-feasibility work. Again, preliminary economic assessment is what you'll see out of this company. Mining, processing, construction cost and schedule is done. We spent a lot of time on that. I've had additional 3 engineers working with me on that, with a couple other consultants as well. The 43-101 technical report will be out. We're hoping Q4. We're targeting Q4. I'm optimistic, but we'll see how our consultants do on this one. Production decision based on the results. That's where we're headed, and that's going to happen as soon as I have that report in my hand. I'm going to take it to my board of directors and say, guys, we want to build one. All indications are that they're going to support that. In fact, they're the ones that have been driving this project for, some of the board members have been on for over 10 years. They want this thing as much as I do. Construction financing, I'll reiterate, our major shareholder is an institution, so we don't anticipate any problems there. We're still going to be shopping for terms. We're not going to be held hostage by that institution, but we still want to look around. Targeting production by Q4. Again, that's optimistic. That's an aggressive schedule. I know it can be done, provided a couple hurdles are crossed. But that's where we're headed. Tract evaluation. If you believe Canaccord, in February this year, they said that in-situ resources are worth, in the U.S., $86.21 per ounce. That means our market cap today at $21 million is quite a bit below our current resource value. Where are we going from here? We believe we're going to be going from. Pipeline of projects. The Lincoln is our focus right now. That's what we've advanced the most. That's what we've spent the last 2 years that I've been associated with the company really working hard on. This thing is, again, not an overnight success. Permitting these things takes decades. We've got those decades behind us. The Eureka is adjacent to us, the Keystone, the Bunker Hills are all near adjacent properties. We also have a property in Mexico that we're working with a joint venture partners, Premier Mines. As an investment opportunity, we believe we're an undervalued company. A lot of companies believe they're undervalued. We're pretty confident in that. Potential for significant resource expansion. We're targeting the Lincoln Common Zones of our total resource. We're targeting less than half of our total already identified resource for mining initially. Beyond that, we own 3.6 miles of strike length for California Mother Lode. We are one of a few U.S. companies planning gold production in the next 12 to 18 months. Now you'll see a lot of wild stories about, oh, we're not going to mine next week. We're producing gold, turn the light switch on, we're producing gold in 3 months. Unless they're permitted, unless they've done the homework, unless they've done the work that we've done so far, they're not anywhere near it. Strong gold price, $1,300. We crossed $1,400 again last week. One of the important things that nobody's really been talking about a lot is for us, for reporting requirements, we have to talk about the 3-year trailing average of gold prices. So when we run economics, we have to say, okay, gold price will be 900. We crossed 1,000 2 weeks ago. So now I can talk about 1,000 gold price in the London PM trailing average. Goldman Sachs has produced 1650. What do you guys think? If you think gold's going to go down, maybe you don't want to touch us. If you think gold's going to go up, you might want to take a good hard look. Contact information, Bob Hotmacher, our CFO, is keeping me honest, here in the back. With that, time-wise, how am I doing? I'm done? I'm done.